right. Good, 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 good. Hey, hey, hey. Just making sure our live is up. Let's see. There you are. I was getting our connection together. All right, technology. I see you. I see your name. Kim. I don't know if... Is it asking you to start your camera? You can chat. Let me know. Can you see, hear what's happening so we can get... Oh, there we go. You popped in, but yes. Now, can I hear you though?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hi.
We did it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm so good. You look so cute.
Oh, well, thank you. So do you. You're always so trendy. I'm like, you know what? She need to start selling those pieces.
I just look at stuff and think, let's see how many patterns I can put on my body today.
Meanwhile, I'm just like black, white.
But she's so cute.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. People think I'm so into all this fashion and clothes and stuff like that. I'm like, baby, I want it as... I don't even want to...
Yeah.
I will get the same outfit. I'll get 5 of each. But thank you so much for being on.
Man, I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we're super excited. I was making sure our stream was up and that everything was connected. I know you
were a busy bee. I've been sitting here looking at you thinking she's a whole boss. You are a boss chick.
I'm like, let me just make sure I got everything together here, that we're live and all is well and all that good stuff. But Tony says hi.
Hey, Tony.
Get set up.
Hi. Y'all are awesome. I follow y'all's trips all around the world.
Vacations.
Yes, I love it. I follow y'all.
Those are a must. But yes, thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to get started. I know Kim is busy and you are too. This is our Monday Lunch and Learn, our CEO Chick Chat with Real Talk Kim. I know it's going to be absolutely amazing. So I want you guys to hop on and share. We are on Zoom and streaming live to YouTube. Super excited to have you on with us, Kim. I'm going to read her bio real quickly for those of you in Marketplace that may not have heard of Real Talk Kim. She is such a powerhouse. I've been following her for years, from before All We See Today. I literally had her on one of our first calls when...
I remember that.
Girl, you remember that?
I totally remember that. And I even remember what house I was living in then, because that's when I was still at Bloomingdale's.
I mean, it was like at the beginning, and I'm like, there's just something special about this lady.
Oh.
And it was when you first launched, and I just think that's sometimes one of the toughest moments, and we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, I remember having you on, and it was just absolutely amazing. I remember where I was living, because it was around the time where it seemed like everything was... all hell was breaking loose.
Yes.
And God,
isn't that crazy?
Inspire people from that. I'm like, inspire.
Isn't that crazy how we can both remember where we were at that time?
Because of the phone lines crashed.
Yes. Acting like we boss chicken and we barely making it.
And what night and day. I can't wait to talk about it. God is so good. Kim Jones Pothier, known as Real Talk Kim, travels the world fulfilling her passion and purpose of loving people back to life. She's a wife, mother, pastor, entrepreneur, best-selling author, entertainer, and most importantly, a worshiper after God's own heart.
Yes.
Kim and her husband, Mark, are senior pastors of the Harvest Church of the Harvest Harvest in Fayetteville, Georgia. And they together have 4 sons. She's a human rights activist. She's passionate about giving back and believes in compassion of the Holy Spirit. I'm so excited to have her on with us. I'm not even going to linger. She's been featured on Dr. Oz, Oxygen Network, Preachers of LA, Creflo Dollar, BET, ABC Nightline Network, The Word Network, CNN, Praise in the Park Atlanta, and now more recently, it's not on the bio, but I saw you on Chatter and just
yes,
and things. I think it was Essence. You were on Essence, and
yes,
so on and on. Like your light is shining, and I just
thank
absolutely
you.
love it. So let's just dive right in. We were talking about even just that starting place.
Yes.
On one of my very first calls and the lines crashing and just where you were at that time and what that was like, because your car had broke down, you went live, your life changed.
If it wouldn't have been, if it wouldn't have been for that hoopty, I would still be at Bloomingdale's.
It sounds crazy, but you just went for it.
I just went for it. You know, I think in that season, I look at it now and I get so tickled because when people come to me and they're like, you just don't understand. I sit on the side of the road in my broke down car. You just don't understand. I'm in this terrible marriage. And I'm like, this right here could be the best thing that ever happened to you if you would start changing your perspective. So I think in that season, Coleen, God just taught me how to shift my thinking. I was always this kid that was bored of everything. I was always hating everything in my life. And henceforth, because of that attitude, I kept messing up the flow that God had in my life because I would always get ahead of him. And so, yeah, girl, I was working at Bloomingdale's, hated every second of it, telling God every day how much I hated every second of it, and having to start back over again. And here I am one day sitting on the side of the road in this car with, 75 cars are zooming by me. I'd just gotten off of Christmas.
Oh my God.
It was Christmas season. So I'd work like 14 hours on the floor. Jeez. And I'm sitting on the side of the road. And for some reason that day, I just thought I don't even know what made me, because I wasn't like big into technology. I knew how to tweet and that was making me famous. And I knew how to do Facebook statuses. And I was just saying stuff I needed to hear. And thousands of people all of a sudden were liking it. And I'm like, oh my God, like they're saying, Kim, you're a fly on the wall in my house. And I'm thinking, no, actually, this is what I needed today. So I was talking to myself and then it started clicking. Well, obviously, everything that I'm going through, other people are going through it too. And the devil is a punk because he made me think forever that I was the only one going through it. So I started thinking. And so that day I just did a video. And the video, I just sitting on that side of the road, I'm smoke pouring out of my car, waiting for the hero truck to come and help me put some antifreeze in it. And I just took this video out and I said, you want to give up today? I had that phone in front of my face. You want to give up today? You're sitting on the side of the road in your broke down car. You want to give up? You go get up. You go get. I mean, I just was obnoxious as I always am. And I put this video up and it went viral. And the rest is history. I'm talking like it was almost like Coleen, God said, for the first time in your life, you finally stopped being a brat. You stopped wanting to be like everybody else. You stopped you're mad at your brother because he got this church handed to him. He ain't got to be no bank teller no more. You're all jealous of this person. You're jealous. And finally, you decided, I'm going to make lemonade out of these lemons that I created, these storms I created. I'm about to shift my thinking. And that's what happened. I just stopped being mad.
Wow. And then now it's like, your ministry it's in people's mouths. They're hearing about you. Talk to us, because this is CEO Chicks. After all, we are dealing with speakers, coaches, authors, lawyers. I mean, we have an amazing group, beauticians, stylists, so we have a great group of women that are doing things all over the world, from London to here. And starting, it's like, okay, I know how to start. I know how to do that, but now I'm kind of in it and I'm feeling like, oh, is this what I signed up for?
Yes.
Like, oh, okay. You're like finally breakthrough, and now you're in, and it's like, this is another issue.
Yeah. I think the key is, Coleen, is that when I realized that I woke up one day and I didn't have just 640 Facebook friends, but I had 124,000 new subscribers. I didn't even know subscribers was a thing. I had no boss chicks in my life. I had nobody to look up to, nobody that written books. No, I mean, I was in special ed. I was the only one in my class, in my family that I didn't get hooked on phonics. I was always, all I ever heard in my ears was, that's just Kim. You know how Kim is. And all of these things were negative to me, negative, negative, negative. And so when I saw what God was doing, I was like, holy moly, like, what am I going to do with all of this? And so you know what I did? I've always been a hustler. Like I've always been, like, even when I was in kindergarten, I remember we'd go eat at Shoney's and they gave free suckers away. We'd eat at Shoney's every night after Sunday night church. I would load my bag, my purse, my little purse with all of these free suckers. And then I'd go to school and I'd sell them for 25 cents each. I always was selling something. And so during this time, I just thought, oh my God, like I don't want to be at Bloomingdale's forever. And I just started thinking, this could be my way out. And I immediately went and I thought, you know what? I'm about to make me some t-shirts. I found a place in Atlanta, Georgia called Sock Shop. And somebody told me about this sock shop. You can buy like cool sweatshirts for like $2.99. And I go driving to Sock Shop on my day off that week. And it's in Griffin, it's in the woods. I drive down there, I see all these black, pink, purple, teal shirts. And I buy like a whole bag with my extra money. So it was like $38 for like literally 30 t-shirts. Cool t-shirts. They were just irregular, so they were cheap. I buy those shirts. Then I go and I Google how to get me a stencil because my son had written me a poem in the midst of this divorce and me having to move back with my mom and dad. And in the poem, it was 35 things that I love about you. And the fifth one on the 35 things I love about you, which God used to heal me because I hated me. I thought, what is good about me? And 35 things he gave me. And number 5 was you conquered hell in high heels. And I'm thinking, wow. So all of a sudden, right there. So you know what the key is, Coleen, is look for miracles in everything. Like you already lost everything. You're already starting over. You're already on an island all by yourself. You already don't know what you're doing, sis. So at this point, anything you do, what's going to happen? It's going to fail. Oh, well, at least you tried. Come on. So it's like getting in that place where you ain't afraid of what people gonna think about you. You ain't afraid of, if I make these t-shirts, nobody buys them. Oh, well, you'll be out of $38. But yeah. So I went literally, and I got me some stencils that said, conquer hell in high heels. I would work my 8-9 hours. I would drive to Lenox Square Mall, 1 hour going, 1 hour coming home. And when I got home, I didn't lay on that bed. Oh God, I'm a single mom. And listen, I didn't start out like this. I would lay in that bed every day for a whole year, mad at God, depressed, not get up out of that bed, mad because I had to go to work. My kids would let me burn up in the house if it would have caught on fire because I was so angry and mean. But when I had this shift in my mind, where I can't waste this opportunity, I literally would get home and my kids went from watching me laying in a bed of depression every day to all of a sudden I came alive. Like it was almost like, and it wasn't an epiphany. It was, Kimberly, you got to do something. Or you're going to be white, old. See, I'm white. White people start to melt. You're going to be like melting old. You're going to be old, angry, and bitter. And you ain't going to have no money. Your money's going to be funny. You're going to be like all them other ladies in the cosmetic department that are 60 years old, that have been in Bloomingdale's making $16 an hour for the rest of their life. Do you want that? I'm like, no. So I literally, man, I'd get home, Coleen. I would get home and I would take a manual iron. And I would iron these conquered hell and high heels or all of the high heels or all of these different color shirts. And I would just pack them really lightly. And then I'd go to Wazala, found me a Wazala store. Oh, I was big time. I got me a Wazala store, which was like $9.99. $9.99. I mean, I wasn't eating Starbucks no more. I wasn't eating McDonald's no more. I was
going into the business. It was going into the industry.
I was owning my own business, and I'm ironing. People only knew. I still see people in those shirts, and I would put them on Wazala, and I would sell them. Even if you just sell one shirt. Yeah. See, these people. Listen, Coleen. Here's the problem. We all look. We're guilty of this. We look at people like me and you. And we're making it look so easy. But it's the behind the scenes of the 10 years that you're preparing for your now. Like we sweated, we ironed on our own t-shirt labels. We look. We didn't show people the behind the scenes of all of your little work set, your little TV screen right here with all these lights. And
yes.
no. We didn't show where our phones leaning up against an oatmeal box.
Come on.
And so I think what it is you just got to get to a place where you're thinking bigger than what you're looking at. And I did it. And I would go from there to going to the mart, buying me jewelries. And I love crosses. I ain't got crosses on today, but everything I would do branded itself. Like I only was known for wearing crosses. That was all I would ever wear. So I'd put
tutus.
And tutus. I don't know why I thought of tutus, but I started wearing tutus and I became the preacher that wore tutus. And that got me on Preachers of Atlanta. Who preaches in tutus?
But you set yourself apart. And it's like the very same thing. The thing that irritated people, the thing you thought was negative. God said, no, baby, I made you just like that. I made you unique. That's the thing that sets you apart.
Yes. And I did it. And I do it proudly. I mean, I think with the tutu thing, I had a conference one time here in Atlanta and I was so scared of what people were going to think about me. Like all my life was a people pleaser. All my life, I would look in people's eyes and see them like roll. I still see it, but I don't even care. You know, people are like, oh God, here's, you know, cause I am obnoxious. Like I'm like, wow. But you know, what I'm doing is working and it's just me and I don't have to filter myself and I don't have to, you know, this is just who I am. You know, if you don't like it, you ain't got to be in my world. I am a life giver. I am a hope dealer. Yeah. But I put that tutu on one day. I thought I'm going to go into this conference and I'm about to rock me a tutu. I went in there with that conference and my shirt that I made myself with the iron. And I put on some Converse, some combat boots. I never wore combat boots in my life. And there that was born. And I just put some pictures up of me in a tutu. And man, for the next year and a half, I preached in tutus every conference I went. And what happened was it was my liberation. Yeah. It was literally for me, it was liberation and freedom from what people thought about me. And it gave me permission when I walked into a room, I already looked, wow. So it wasn't a shock to nobody. So I got completely set free in that year from people pleasing. And everybody that would come to my conference would rock tutus. So it was almost like everybody was saying, you know, I've been grown for a long time. And this weekend I'm going to see Real Talk Kim and I'm just going to rock a tutu. And that's what we did. So I don't wear tutus anymore just because it's hard to pack. But it worked. You know, it's almost like listening, Coleen. Here's what I would tell the women listening to us. Listen to the voices here. Stop asking other people how to co-sign off of your dream. And whatever you feel here. CEO Chicks was birthed because you were laying in bed one day and you had this thought. It wasn't, you know, and that's why God's gifted you to be a mentor to so many people because you've got that thought pattern, that easy. God just blessed you with that. That's why it's great to have you in our lives. But you got to look at what is God telling you. Go to Sock Shop and get some shirts. Go start writing your book 1 hour a day. Just invest in your book. Like start listening to, get rid of the noise.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get rid of the noise. Get rid of trying to be like anybody else. What is your lane? There's nobody in the world that can do it like you. We all have something that's distinct. We all have something that's going to set us apart. And you got to make up in your mind here where you're at, where you feel like you're on an island all by yourself. This is the place that you have to begin to say, I will be my own cheerleader. I will go buy me a cake for all the small little accomplishments that I do. Yeah. And I will never allow myself to lose focus and begin to prostitute the calling on my life to fit into places that I don't belong to anyway. I will never try to push myself at a table anymore where I don't feel like I belong. I will never push myself to sit at a table where when I get up, I might be the topic of conversation. Yeah. I will never allow myself, I will protect my anointing, not be bitter, not be angry, not be a mad woman, but be at a place where I honor, even if I'm just making $100 in a month. Yeah. This $100 is it's better than not making nothing. It's celebrating every season. Yeah. And being so proud of yourself. Yeah. That you're doing something.
And it attracts more because we begin to magnify the right thing. We get to place our focus in the right place. And so when you invest in that, it will grow.
Yes, it's a fact. When you invest in that, it will grow. When you celebrate, when you're grateful, I think what we do as women, because sadly, we can work rings around a man. You know what I'm saying? We can do and we won't get all the credit that a man would have gotten. And so if we're not careful, we will get angry because we'll become a feminist. Because it's easy to just finally say, man, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand why I don't get the same praise they get or the same paycheck they get. And instead of being angry at it, just go make your own lane. Yeah. Get so busy doing what you're supposed to be doing that you don't even look at anyone else's blessing. You just rocking it.
So
you rocking it.
So good. So good. I'm literally like saying some stuff and taking notes so I can ask you other questions. So we just flowing today. There were no pre-questionnaires sent out or anything like that.
No, I do better flowing.
Yeah, we just talking. After we reconnected, you were speaking at Shatera's conference, Stripping of Sheets and Recover All, which was absolutely amazing over the summer. And I remember us talking kind of in the DM a little bit about just team, about building. And I'm watching, and the world is watching your ministry grow, where it's not just marketplace, but it's also ministry. That's why I'm actually so drawn to you, because it's not just the four walls of the church. That thought stifles me,
Yes.
But so to know that I can be at the Word Network and NBC, or
yes.
at a bishop such and such conference and be at Essence, like I love to see that speaks kingdom to me. Not that just to me, like that resonates with me, not that what anyone else is doing is it's just not right for Coleen, right?
Yes.
That's why your ministry resonates with me so much. But one of the questions I asked, and I want you to share some more, is just that team building piece, because the people, like we're in the people business. We're coaches, we're pastors, we're mentors, we're speakers, we're interacting, we're affecting the lives of people every day. And so when you're building a team, sometimes, there's issues, things come up when you work with people, and it's like finding a personality that fits, or you have someone with the ability but not the personality, you have someone with the personality but not the ability, and just really trying to find your way in that space, because you're building something so great and you do have to protect it. That's one of the number one things we have to do, is protect the vision that God has given us. So talk to us about team building. When is it a good time to replace versus just reposition?
I think that with me, I've had a lot of learning in this area, because I just love so hard, and I believe in people so much. And I think when God healed me from bitter, he almost gave me such a soft heart that it's almost works in my not good. It doesn't work good for me, because I will let people stay on my team way longer that's drilling holes in my boat. Everybody's like, don't you see this? And so I think it's taken me a good 5 years to get to a place where I can let people go. I can, you've gone with me as far as you can go. I pray over myself every day and just say, God, keep me aware, keep me centered. Let me see the red flags, because I preach the red flags. Usually I found what we preach about a lot is the areas we have problems with. You know what I'm saying? That we teach a lot, we coach about. It's the areas that we're still trying to fix ourselves. Yeah. And so in the last, I've been doing this full time for 6 years. And in the 6 years, I've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 assistants. And I thought, man, that is not good. That is not good. I've had this last assistant now for 2.5 years, and it's a fit. It's not to say that I might not tomorrow. She said, girl, you too busy for me, because it's a lot to work for me. I get a lot of requests every day, and it takes focus. But what I did was I started getting to a place where God brought me these people in my life, and I realized that my parents raised me very frugal. And so I was wanting all of this on not as much pay, because I'm frugal. And so this year in 2019, what God's taught me is you got to pay for great people. Ooh. And so you can't go banking. When God begins to enlarge your territory, because you're going to pay for what you get. I was paying for no experience. I was paying for friends. I was paying for people that I like to go with me, but weren't qualified to go with me. And so in 2019, I realized you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay, Kimberly, for great help. You're going to have to hire. It's better to have 3 people and making great money than having 10 people that couldn't do what 3 people could do or 1 person could do. And so this year, that's what I've done. I've realized that as I grow, the pay has to grow because I need better people. Yeah. And so that's what I do. And I keep my eyes very woke, and I used to didn't communicate very well because I'm an 8, I'm 7 Enneagram, and we're just fly by the seat of our pants. And, I've gotten people around me now that everybody's great in their own lanes. And anytime I'm communicating every week, I'm over communicating. And I can tell when they've tapped out. But man, I realized that the communication was the key. Communication was the key. And if I have a problem with somebody and I'm looking at somebody and I'm thinking, I think you're building, because I really had this situation that happened last year with this person that I really loved, and they were millennial. Millennials are kind of hard because you got to learn how to decipher with these millennials, because these millennials need to fly. They need to go to Starbucks and work, and the old me wants you to sit right here so I can watch you. Yeah. And so I had to start. 2019 was a huge, just learning curve for me. People aren't going to do it the way you want them to do it, the way you're going to do it. Millennials need to go to the park and watch the birds chirp. And, I just started really, and so I had to learn how to curve how I was managing and growing this company. And so I just kept my eyes woke. I watched a lot of people like you. I would watch a lot of motivational people. I really listened to a lot of business people that are making $1 million instead of just preaching. You know what I'm saying? I went from just preaching and church to now I'm investing in myself to grow over here. So it's always pouring into yourself too. You're never smart enough. You want to go bigger. You got to get outside the church, because we want to go outside the church. We want to get to the world. So we got to think, we got to post like the world, but we're good. We got to always we keeping ourselves moving. And so that's what I've done this year. Last year I had a millennial that I thought, well, I guess I just need to let them go watch the birds chirp and do their work. And ended up, she started her own, because it's easy whenever you got a name that you've built, a brand you've built, and all of a sudden these people get a little taste of what you've got a whole world of. I get accolades and praise. And I mean, every day, if I wasn't humble in my heart and knew where God brought me from, I could be having 9 people carrying my train everywhere I go, pouring my water for me. Right. But because God knew that I could handle this level that he gave me, I got to be careful now who I let come in my world, because they will all of a sudden be trying to have themselves an assistant carrying their stuff when I ain't even got one. And so, you know what I'm saying?
I barely got you.
I know. And it's like all of a sudden, you got what? You got your own assistant doing what? And so I think it's just letting people go, clipping them and not being angry about it. But girl, you can't go with me because you got 5 assistants. I ain't got one.
It'll ruin you. It'll ruin you.
It will ruin me, and it's ruining them. Yeah. It's ruining them because they can't carry your platform. And so you got to get people that don't want what you got, people that just believe in you, and they are out there. And so I think that's the learning curve, is understanding just because it's your nay, your boo thing, your friend, it don't mean they can handle where God's taking you. And sometimes you got to let them be your friend, and you got to get somebody over here that's a boss, that's going to help you grow.
That's right. That's it.
So,
period, point blank.
That's how I build.
I absolutely love that. And now it's just like no longer keeping it past its expiration date, and
come on.
And you don't have to be ashamed about that. It really is not personal. The vision is what dictates the decision, period, point blank.
Come on.
I just had to realize that, that's it. That's it, period. The end.
I was at a place ministering this year, and it was in Australia. God just this year opened up these international doors for me. And this is not taking a slap at my team. It was just that I was still being frugal and didn't have enough people on my team. And I remember the person that I was speaking for said, I'm going to tell you something. You're like our TD Jakes in a woman world. And it don't matter how great you are. It don't matter how you walk in, you wreck a place, or you change lives forever. A bad team can mess you up. It don't matter how good you are. A bad team gonna mess you up. And when they said that to me, Coleen, it hit me like a Mack truck. It don't matter how good you are, how anointed you are, what a chain breaker you are, what a business world CEO chick you are. If you got the wrong people on your team, they gonna mess you up. Period. You know what I did? I got home and I started shaking some things. I showed it. There's no reason why I should be getting an email in and y'all putting it in a save box. I got rid of some people. And I put some people, I said, you're going to be in the office every day. You ain't going to be working in your bed no more. I need you to be in the office. I need these emails answered now. When they come in, they should have an immediate response. For the first time in my life, I feel like I took my world, I owned it, and I said, this is not all right. This is not all right. This is not all right. Now, what do I need to do to get you help so this don't ever happen again? Yeah. You know what I did? I went and bought me got me a hub. I got my own RTK hub where they ain't at my church answering the church phone. They're not over there, doing my business and the church. They can't use that as an excuse. It's separate. And I got my own little hub. They got office hours, and every email that comes through, I'm seeing it. Now, I don't necessarily look at them. They don't really know that, but I'm seeing it. So they thinking, oh, Real Talk Kim is watching. And so that's the key. You can't just be over here wanting a friend so bad that you're willing to whatever that word is, like mess your whole business up, trying to be a girlfriend. Yeah. When you're going higher, you got to have people in your world. You got to pay somebody, pay one person instead of 10 that's qualified. Just have quality. And so that's what I did. That was a wake-up call for me.
It costs to be the boss. It costs to be the boss. So it's 12:30. So I'm going to give you 2 more questions. If you guys have questions that are watching on YouTube, definitely chime in there. We got Coach Jennifer, Tiffany is there. Listen, we want your questions for Real Talk Kim. What does it look like for you, Kim, in 2020? Our mantra is to collaborate, create, and dominate. Our annual conference, dominate, and so I just want, what does that mean to you? I would love to hear, what does dominate mean to Real Talk Kim?
Dominate to me means to go harder for who I am, undress another part of me that has been that the world couldn't handle, or I thought the world couldn't handle yet. Dominate is everywhere I go, drop the mic so they never forget me. It's being on point. It's waking up during the day, being strategic, starting my day off, which I have really accustomed to this year, starting my day off in that mirror, talking to myself. I am the queen of it. Talking to myself, pepping myself up. It's being even more intentional than I already am. It's being consistent. I've written my book will be out April. My 4th book will be out April the 4th. We're doing a book tour this year, which I ain't never done before. It's called Shut Hell Up. It's maximizing every single door that God's given me, and it's making my presence even louder than it already is. And it all comes through consistency.
Come on. Consistency. That's the key to it. Like, keep doing it when it seems like folks aren't responding. It seems like it's not happening. You have to be that first one, believing and going for it, knowing God gave it to you, period, point blank.
And even this year I started the Live at 9.
Yeah.
Normally I wouldn't do anything after 6 or 7. It was just me time. And I really felt like God was saying, you need to start this Live at 9, especially till the end of the year, and your mentorship program. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, I don't know, mentorship, because I kept researching everybody's mentorships, and they're all like spending one-on-one time with people on the phone. I was like, there's no way possible that I've got that. Right. So I developed my own mentorship program the way I know the way I felt worked for me. Girl, it's like 1,800 people signed up in the first week, and they've been consistent for the last 3 months. Woo! So I realized that I'm training these people not to have somebody's voice yelling at them. I can do it through emails. I can do it through this right here, but speaking to 1,500, 1,900, 2,000 people at one time in a video. And so I started this, I'm very dedicated to this mentorship program and this Live at 9. And when I don't want to get up, put my makeup on at 9 o'clock, I will get up, get fully dressed, and be consistent, and look at what God's done with just the Live at 9. So I think I'm gonna just keep doing that in 2019. Consistency is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. What do you feel like is going to be next? Like, what do you feel like is that out of the box thing that you're like, like, is there that thing that you haven't even put out there yet because it's just like, it seems so big?
Yeah, like, man, I don't understand how these people in Hollywood keep finding out about me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I keep getting these calls.
You had that conversation when you were here in town. You did.
I don't even know where it's coming from. I got hit with like 3 and 4, and they're huge. So just stay tuned for 2020, man. I'm just taking it. I'm just flying with it. I'm just figuring out if they're finding me, then it must be God, you know, because I'm a little girl here in Fayetteville, Georgia, and nobody knew me. It's social media has done this because of my obedience and my consistency and working it when I didn't have a reason to work it. Girl, when I first started, you know how many of those calls I did, but I remember CEO chicks. People are like, oh, I don't feel like doing another one of those calls. Who is going to hear this? Who are they anyway? I would do every call. Rehab time, I would do it every Thursday night. That's how I got out there. I would use y'all, the CEO chicks. I would use the rehab time with Trent Shelton.
Yeah.
And that's how I started getting out there. It's not thinking that you got to get paid. Everything you got to do, you got to get paid. I ain't doing it. You thinking you all entitled. I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it unless I get $1,000 to do that call. Do you know who I am? You ain't nobody. If you still get, you know what I'm saying? Like, use every platform. Wear your tail out. Beating the pavement. Doing some stuff for free. Going into, you know how many engagements I spoke at and had to walk on the hotel carpet in slippers because they put me in the nastiest hotel on the planet? I didn't start out making a dime. I just went. Everywhere I could go, I just hustled. I would get on that plane. They would put me on 9 freaking planes to get to Dallas. It would take me 9 hours to get to Dallas, which is an hour flight from Atlanta, because they were trying to save some money, thinking I wasn't worth it. Okay, I wasn't worth it at the time, but look at me now. You know why? Because I paid my dues. I didn't think I was going to be Coleen at 6 years ago. I was still at Bloomingdale's.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
You gotta just work it. Work it, baby. Work it.
Yes, work. I was telling Anthony, we were watching a movie last night, Tony, and I said, oh, I remember staying in a hotel like that. I thought I was going to die that night because the lady put me in a motel. I said, oh, Jesus, the door's outside.
Hey, and the air conditioner water that stayed in the wall. The whole hotel smelling like cigarettes.
The door's outside.
Hey, you eat. Hey, you got to take your own snacks because you ain't got no money to buy. They don't think of you once they get you there.
That's it. And that's it. Like, that's part of the process when you want to be a speaker. And that, you know, we attract our own kind. So I have speakers, I have ministers, I have coaches, I have authors. They want to get their message out there. And I love that we even touched on that because it's not cute.
It ain't cute. And everybody thinking, oh, I already want to be treated like Real Talk Kim and Coleen. Girl, we done slept with our clothes on top of the comforter. Like, we have paid our dues, okay?
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Like, in my little son, I'll never forget walking in an event, and my son, 6'5", Lincoln, he walked into this event, and all you could hear, it was in like this, like you had to pack a gun to walk into it. It's in like the middle of New York. We walk in and this smoke alarm, they screaming and yelling, clapping everywhere, acting like this smoke machine ain't going off in the middle of the church. And my son had to stand up on a chair and take that smoke machine batteries down. I mean, you talking ghetto? I done it. I love it,
Kim. I love it. We have a question that came in. When you are gifted in many areas, how do you decide on what area to press the gas? That's a great question.
You know what I did was when I was gifted in many areas, I did all of them. When I first started, man, I did earrings, jewelry, I do t-shirts. I would write an hour in my book. I just did all of them. And whichever lane took off is a lane I realized was God. It was like, because when God's on the scene and something is your calling and something is God's put an anointing in that area, it's just going to take off. Like, it's going to blow your mind. Like, there's not going to be a whole lot of, if you have been doing this for 5 years, if I have been speaking for 5 years and I'm still begging you to have me preach, it ain't my lane.
Yeah, come on.
You know, I see these preachers out here dying. Please have me, wearing people out, stalking people. Please have me. Oh, I'm available this date. Well, you're available because nobody wants you because this ain't your lane. Yeah. You know, so I think it's when that lane opens up for you, and it will. when you're in the lane that God has you in, when he sees that you're going to be consistent where you are, that part of the lane will sprout. And all of a sudden that's the lane that's going to take off, and that's the one you'll invest in. But in my life, I've got a business. I'm a CEO. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I'm a preacher. And so I do whatever lane comes in, I still do all of them. And I'm pretty doggone good at all of them because I realize that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I think that a lot of times people get messed up because they think, and that's not what I want to do. I don't know why that part's open. Girl, use every single platform that you've got, even if you're thinking, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to do that. I think people get so caught up in their feelings and their thoughts that they mess themselves up on something that God was using that Bloomingdale season. If I wouldn't have been at Bloomingdale's, which I didn't want to be there anyway, I could have quit 2 years before I quit because my speaking engagement picked up, but God wouldn't let me quit because I was very in tune to God. He wouldn't let me quit. Now I know why, because if it wouldn't have been for me staying those other that last 2 years and speaking on the weekends, and still working at Bloomingdale's, I'd never been sitting on the side of the road that day and never been in a position in my mind to be able to do a video that got me out there. Timing is everything. But I wouldn't let my mind keep me stifled. I would just, God, whatever door you're going to open, I know that you trust me with it. So I'm just going to do all of them. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be able to handle whatever you give me. So I think a lot of times we stop ourselves because we overthink things.
I think that's so good. And we're not pliable.
And you got to grow.
To be this way, or it's not God, and that's not how it works. Like one thing leads to another. Like he's this master economist. I tell people all the time, he uses everything. Nothing goes to waste,
Nothing. And Coleen, I really think that during this time that you're growing and you're beating the pavement and you're tired and you're like, man, I've been doing this for 3 years and nothing. I did it for 5 years at Bloomingdale's before it ever took off. And it was like just one day because of my obedience, it just poof. I was doing videos forever before it took off. And, I think that we have to get to a place where we don't get weary and well doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. And I think it's just staying focused in that place of it's going to take off. I'm going to stop thinking so much. I'm going to stop putting myself in a box. And here's the key. Be growing in your preparation state. Be listening to people. Get some mentors that you may never even get a beer with them, but just be taken. I'm watching every little thing this person is doing because they are doing it with ease. And where they're at's where I want to go. I want to tap into some of that and just start getting this wisdom from them. Get some podcast in your ear. Quit bumping to Beyonce on the way to work, and every day be pouring into your spirit, like every day. You know what I'm saying? How do you write a book? Start listening to people that are giving you wisdom on that, how to do what Colleen's doing. Watch everything she does, support everything she does, and that blessing that's on her is going to trickle down on you. So I think it's in that season where you feel like you ain't getting no traction is a season that you're supposed to be learning, because here's the deal. When God opens the heavens over your life, that one video or that one book or that one newsletter, that one blog, all of a sudden hits somebody that can change your trajectory because they share it. You're going to have to be ready. You can't get ready once the doors open for you. You got to be ready before the doors open for you. I listen to preaching every day. I will listen to motivational speaking all the way to, like, by the time those doors open for me, I could drop the mic. I wasn't over here trying to get ready quick. Oh my God, the door opened. Now what am I going to do? Oh my God, I don't know if I'm capable for this. No, you got to get ready now. Right now in your quiet season, because when the lights come on, you're going to be buckled up like, holy moly. You got to know we got to juggle your children, juggle your husband, juggle your church, juggle your business. You got to have you a team that can handle it while you're on the road, while you're speaking engagements. And you got to know people got your back. You know what I'm saying? So get everything in line now.
Prepare for what you're praying for.
Yes.
Stay motivated. And I feel like you answered that when I think the question came in and you kind of just naturally flowed into that space. But it was, when you don't see fruit, what inspired you? So what personally, was there a particular voice that inspired you in that season when you knew you didn't want to, you wanted to quit, you wanted to leave, you're not seeing fruit 5 years? Was there a teaching that you were listening to? Is there something that stands out that kind of?
Yeah, back then, so 6 years ago, back then it was Trent Shelton. Like I got a hold of Rehab Time, and this little cornrows in his hair didn't look like the normal church person. He believed in me. And so I was just honored that he gave me that platform. But what he didn't know was I was gleaning off of him the whole time. I was listening. He just made sense to me. Yeah. It wasn't, and God said, and God,
like, just talk to me regular. Like,
he was just speaking this
one-on-one, plain, simple, like
me and him were just talking. Yeah. And so I gleaned off of him, man. I would just get really him in that season, because that was the only thing that was really outside of the church world that I knew about. But, I would just, when I wasn't having no traction, I was so proud of the fact that I would have 2 people watching my life.
Come on.
I didn't even know, Coleen, I didn't even know that it was possible that when you get on a live, that within 5 seconds you got 1,800 people on with you. Like that didn't even resonate with me that was even possible. So I was just so grateful for every step. But see, now I think we're in this world where we see social media makes everything look so easy. It's like people's highlight reels. You see people getting 30,000 likes on a picture and you got 2, and you're just like, my comment was better than theirs. It's the grace of God. It's the oil that God's placed on your life. It's almost like I watch these people that go around and you better take my comment. I wrote that. I'm going to sue you. They're so busy going around wanting their accolades from somebody they think stole their content, that when you get to a place where you realize that where that content came from, there's tons more. You got to get where you're not petty, because the higher you go, people gonna steal your doggone content. Content comes from everybody, like everybody getting something from everybody. And so I think what I did was I got to a place where I wasn't scared of people stealing my content. I wasn't petty about stuff. If people stole, I was like, that must mean it was really good. Let me write another one. I think I just got to a place where I was just so grateful for anything. I was so grateful when they stole my content.
I know. Listen, I get petty though, so that's fine. You don't got to get petty. I sometimes be like, we'll talk Kim. I did. I sure did.
But a lot of people do, Coleen. You're not bad. You're not bad for that. I'm just saying, like,
I know that's real talk, Kim. Y'all got to get people. But no.
I think here's the deal, though. I think that can be a distraction. It was for me anyway, because you're going around trying to fight a battle that you ain't never gonna win. There's 7 billion people in this world, and I just started looking at it like, what? That must have been good. They took it. So I think, but we're all, to each his own. But I just got to a place where I used to be petty for it. I got where I wasn't even petty for it. And I think God honored that. I think he just finally said, at least you're not going to be fighting stupid battles and even worth fighting. And you're just so busy. I'm just keep giving you tons and tons and tons of, and you're going to be over here just poof, 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 poof. And you ain't going to be worried about that stuff. And so I think that's what it is. I think that it's being grateful for the 2 live viewers you got, being grateful for the 1 book you sold this week, being grateful, just being like, man, my book's getting out there. I bet you they gonna buy this book and they gonna pass it along to 7 of their family members. Like, it's gonna get in the hands before I know it. I remember I used to sit at a church. I was working at a church, Larry Huck's church. Every single stinking Monday, we would be sitting in that staff meeting, and his whole goal for all of us 20 staff members was to get his name in a house. I want to be a household name. That was his goal, to be a household name. And until I was on this with you today, it was almost like the Holy Spirit spoke and said, he didn't even realize that he was prophesying that for you all the way back 20 years ago. I didn't try to be a household name.
Right.
I didn't try to be on all these shows. I didn't try to be preaching 51 weeks out of the year. I was just thankful for getting to sleep on top of the sheets in that nasty roach-infested hotel.
Because somebody wanted to hear your message. Just grateful.
Yes, I'm just so grateful. Coleen, even I was on Willie Moore Jr. show the other day, and I'm just like, look, I cry when I start talking about this. I'm just like, how? He was like, there's not another woman that can cross all these barriers. It's like you're with you're at Essence Festival. You're the only white person at Essence Festival. That you blacker than everybody there. It's almost like God's given me this ability to just be where I needed to be.
I told you it's white girl magic.
And he was just like, how do you do it? Like, you go through airports and people like, he said, I've splashed you in the airport and you got a lot of people trying to get your picture. I said, man, I'm just so thankful, Coleen. I could be still at Bloomingdale's. I was a special ed. I don't know where commas and punctuation still go. I'm still misspelled they, their, and thee. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so grateful. I think that's the key. I'm just so grateful. You got to just be so grateful for every step, every book that sells, every post that gets one like. There are more than 7 billion people. So for one person to even acknowledge Coleen, CEO, I've heard of CEO chicks. Real talk, that name it rings something. There are so many people that would kill just to have one person talking about you at a table. We're so busy chasing down our haters and clapping back at people and not understanding it's a huge deal when your name is at tables that your feet ain't even at.
Yeah.
You are somebody that they would be talking about you when you ain't even at the table. Jesus. You made it. It's just shifting that perspective and just being thankful for them haters, being thankful for that person that even considered you to come speak. You know what I'm saying? So it's just being thankful, staying humble, man. God, humbleness.
Yeah.
Don't be entitled. Everybody's entitled. Everybody just already thinking they made it whenever they ain't even made it to anywhere that they could make it, and stopping their growth because they over here already cocky and treating their staff like they peons. I'm somebody. So I think it's just being grateful, girl. Just staying humble. Like, man, I'm just so grateful.
Humble and stay a student.
Stay a student.
Yeah, keep learning.
Coleen, I'm forever growing from you. You hear me? You a whole bad mamma jamma.
Don't make me cry, Kim.
You are. I'm telling you, it's looking at people like you that, man, I honor you. I celebrate you. I'm that girl. I am that girl that I can, man, I'm your hype girl. You hear me? I am there. I ain't jealous of nobody. I ain't jealous of you, Coleen. You know why? Because, girl, you doing it. And I'm over here going, if Coleen can do it, I can do it. And we can hold each other arms up and we can be there for each other and we can walk each other through staff change and, how you juggling your husband in this season or how your kid acting up, my kid acting up. We can pray for each other. And so I'm super proud of you. And I'm just so thankful that all those years ago, that speaks for itself, that me and you still got each other's back. Yeah. And that was 6 years ago.
Oh my gosh. And just look at what God has done.
Look at what God's done in both our lives, girl. Both of us sitting in this, man, I was sitting in a room that was an ironing room, an office, a t-shirt shop. And I just put me a chair in the middle and all that junk. Yeah. And I just acted like I had it all going on.
I was battling homelessness myself. I was at my mother's house family party of 6. We up in here.
And you're telling everybody.
2 years. Listen.
I'm about to go on CEO chick. There are 10 people in one house with 2 rooms.
And then 500 people get on a call. It was crazy.
Come on.
It was crazy. He's that good, y'all. He is that good. Thank you.
It's beating the pavement.
Yeah, put in the work, stay humble, stay grateful, and remain a student. Thank you so much for taking time.
Man, I love you, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to call you my friend. You the real deal.
I love you too. Thank you so much. And just being able to responding. I know sometimes you all over the world, but I already know if I get these are my detailed questions. Let me know.
I got you.
I know you're gonna come back and give me some wisdom, and it's needed. And I'm just so grateful for you and grateful for your.
And God used you to put me out there. It was you. It was Trent Shelton. It was all these people that now look, we're still friends, and God used your platform to get me in a little bit more places and then a little bit more places. And so I don't take that lightly, and I will always have your back, and I will always help you, and I will always collaborate with you, and I will always answer your phone calls.
I love you. I'm looking forward to just watching your inner circle grow, your mentorship program, your community. Like that right there gets me so excited.
Yes.
It's like you are valuable. You are valuable. And some people really need that. They need that, Kim. So
thank you, sis.
Love you. Thank you, girl.
I love y'all.
Excited. Thanks for being on. Y'all
go crush it, ladies.
Listen, that part. We are getting ready. Dominate 2020, March 14th. I'm going to post it tomorrow. Look out in your emails. We're doing some great things. I'm so excited. Mael Organics founder will be with us. My mentor, Michelle, is going to be with us from Flowers Communication Group. It's workshops. We going to work.
Come on. Workshops are the tea.
Yes, it's work time. Laptops, Wi-Fi, that's all. We shutting it in for a whole day and getting you.
Man, I love that.
That's it. That's what we're doing. We're working. That's it. That's what we're doing. Intimate, only 50 people. Intimacy, go to work, and that's it. That's what.
Man, that's perfect. You know how many crowns you're gonna have, the jewels you're gonna have in your crown in heaven. You're giving information out to women that could have never gotten it.
Listen, and we got to go to work. We have to go to work.
Yeah.
The how-to part, we get hyped, but the how-to, that's where we're stuck. And I realize that. So
how to roll it out.
Yeah. So love.
So. Hey, where's this at on YouTube so I can go share it now?
CEO Chicks.
CEO Chicks. Okay.
Yep. On CEO.
All right. I love y'all. Thank you for having me, sweet girl.
Please continue to go and dominate, sis. Love you.
I love y'all so much. I believe in y'all. Bye.